With Loose Women still to come, we'll be getting ourselves in a lather with all the latest goings-on from the street when we chat to Corrie actress Jenny McAlpine. Now, though, a survey of British men has revealed that our fellas are useless when it comes to completing everyday household chores. Apparently, 1 in 5 blokes don't know how to use the washing machine, and 11% claim they're unable to operate an iron. Even more worryingly, a tenth of men said they can't turn on an oven. Do you think it's our fault? Do you think it is our fault that ladies are to blame for men's ineptitude around the home?
I don't think it's our fault. I do like a man who can do things, though. Not that I've had one for a long time that can do anything at all. And I like a man with a hammer. I think there's nothing sexier than a man with a hammer. You know what I mean?
Doing with it.
Yeah, no, but I think men can do anything they want to do. I just think they pretend not to. You know, they pretend they can't cook.
No, but they don't want to do anything.
They don't want to do it. But then I think women are the same. Do you want to cook? Do you want to wash? Do you want to iron? No is the answer. So we're all the same. I don't think we need to do... Don't do what you don't want to do. That's what I say, man. Nothing get done in my house.
Someone's got to do it.
I know somebody's got to do it, but a man won't. They don't want to, so why make them?
I do think that there are men out there who have been spoiled by their mothers.
Mummies, yes.
And
yes,
because they've never been taught how to do those kinds of things. They go through life, you know, treating every woman that they end up with like their mother, you know, just leaving their washing line around. And it's, you know, it has to be nipped in the bud. But I do think...
Nipped in the bud?
It has to be like, right, that's not happening here.
What do you do with Mark?
You could start a college, couldn't you, for nipping them in the bud?
But I don't like all that, you know, nagging. Oh, you haven't done the washing. So yeah, we just divide the chores, really. You know, he's got a bit of a problem with loading the dishwasher because he keeps putting the saucepans on the top shelf. Now, what's that all about?
Because he puts the dirty clothes in the
No.
dishwasher.
Oh, no. And I won't let him near the washing machine because it doesn't matter how many times I explain to him, right, don't put bright red things in with white stuff and then put it on boil. Just don't do it. He'll still do it. So it's easier if we just stick to our own stuff. And he does it. It's really good.
But what does he do, though?
He...
Well, I know what she does.
No, he does. He sorts the washing out. He empties the dishwasher. Right. He does the washing up. He does most of the cleaning. He does all of that stuff.
What more could you... I think this whole thing about men can't do it is absolute rubbish.
I think they pretend to.
They all
pretend not to be able to do things.
And equally, like you were saying, though, there are things I cannot bear, DVDs and... that kind of stuff. It just irritates... Yes, it irritates me, you know, and you have to be patient. And I'm not very good at that, so I'll go, I can't do that. You do it. And so Mr. Spain was very happy to press a button and sit. Hours on end he's there, going backwards and forwards and fast-forwarding. Fine. Now, if you said to me...
If you had to do it, you would.
Precisely. And if I have to change the plug, I will. And if he has to fill the washing machine, he will. And I taught my sons, and I think it's unfair. But I don't know who they ask when... these polls, it's my usual hatred of polls, but I mean, I bet you half of them say I don't know how to do it because that's what they're used to saying to get out of doing it.
Yeah,
it depends what you want to do, doesn't it? I mean, does Mr. Spain put things up?
He's marvellous. He puts things up all over the place.
I rest my case then. See, I like somebody to put it up for me. You know what I mean,
to say, in defence of men out there, Steve is very, very good in terms of, putting things up. No, but
he's a builder.
He's a builder, yeah, exactly.
To do it.
Do the washing and stuff.
He does everything. He does. Yeah, he does. He does everything. It's really equal in our house. I mean, obviously there are some jobs that I don't necessarily like putting the bins out. So he puts the bins out, and I don't know. I'm better at... You see, I think what it is, men are really good at messy jobs and women are really good at tidy jobs. You know, men like putting up shelves and bang, bang and mess and, you know, the bins and stuff, and women like tidy jobs.
I disagree, you see. I just think it's all about laziness and getting into... Because Michael is very tidy, and if I put a shelf up, I'd do it, but I wouldn't be bothered to do the spirit level and make sure it was straight. And I just turn off. So I think, no, I can't be bothered. He would go, how can you do that? It's like your washing machine, you know, the dishwasher. You say to Mark, how can you possibly put a saucepan? That's just because they can't actually. It's a mental block. They just can't be bothered.
Do you think gone are the days when your grandma used to bring your granddad's meal in and he
she did everything.
Everything.
And he would just sit there.
He would just sit there, meal on the plate, eat the meal, take the plate away, go and wash it.
I do that.
Well, I think most men would quite like that.
Yeah,
I think
do
most
it.
men would love to go back to just sitting on the sofa with the pipe and slippers while the woman waits on them hands and foot, brings their beer, brings their dinner, washes up after.
It works a treat.
They would.
Trust me, it works a treat.
It's not going to happen.
Yes, but that's buying
my
favours.
house.
I can tell by Linda's face that's buying favours, isn't it? That means you'll do anything for a bit of mashed potato.
No. It's a generational thing.
Oh, thanks.
Right, come on. It is competition time now, ladies. Now, a new book from sex instructor Nicole Dedon. I know. Examining the art and craft of the female orgasm has made some claims that will certainly make you sit up and listen. Yes, she reckons that with the right partner and an advanced technique, a woman can experience an orgasm for anything up to 4 months. Absolutely. In order to achieve this state of sexual arousal, Nicole, who describes the female orgasm as elusive, recommends the practice of orgasmic meditation. So, do you find this kind of recommendation useful, or are books advising you on the female orgasm simply making our sex lives far too complicated?
Oh, please, 4 months, for goodness sake.
Who wants to wait 4 months?
Precisely. Yes.
Hang around for 4 months waiting.
Got
I don't think
important
it's about
things to do,
waiting.
like
I think
read a book.
It's simmering. It gets you kind of simmering on the
This is
boil
what she
for
said.
4 months.
This is what she says, apparently, according to this woman.
Yeah.
You're a woman... mustn't laugh and be childish. A woman is at, like, simmering, waiting at any moment to explode. So be careful when you shake the postman's hand. Because he could go, are you all right? And you go, yeah! So, anyway, and so all along, a bit of stroking every now and again, and finally it's like a simmering pot. You explode. The only thing she said that made any sense to me at all in all this was that men and women experience orgasm differently. Boom, well done.
Well, yeah. I think we kind of knew that.
Well, I think we do.
Well, I think it's... Going back to the original question, I think it does actually make our sex lives more complicated. The more information there is out there, the more you read about it, the more you think you're doing it wrong and everybody else is having a much better time. I remember when I was really young, I just enjoyed it. I just thought, this is great. You know, and it's really good that whoever made sex enjoyable, because then, you know, you do it, and therefore the human race doesn't die out. And I just absolutely loved it. And then in my late teens and early 20s, I started reading Cosmopolitan magazine.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, ruined my sex life. I thought, because there was so much information, it's like, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And I just thought, I was concentrating too much on it. I thought, oh, this is not working anymore, and kind of stopped doing it. But then the problem is what women need to do, if they think they're not having good sex, all they need to do is work out what they need themselves, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Without putting a too fine a point on it, you know, I think if women know what they need...
Get to know yourself
yes,
first.
it's really easy to engage with another person and make it happen again.
Have you got that, Sherry?
I'm listening. I'm just going to take it down just to know who you are.
Sadly, I do think there are a lot of women who probably don't enjoy sex that much. And I don't think any book or manual would sort that out. I actually think they just need to get in touch with themselves, so to speak.
Don't you think it's with orgasms?
Oh, come on. We know it's been a while.
The thing is, you see, I'm a bit confused anyway, but that's generally. But the thing is, you have bad sex, don't you, in your life, and you have good sex. So how do you know which is which? So how do you know this woman saying about orgasm thing, when you come to it, That's an unfortunate word, isn't it? How do you know what it is? And then how would you know you were simmering if you haven't simmered for a long time?
Does it matter if you're enjoying yourself and passing the time?
Exactly. I know riding a bike, when you ride a bike, that you can get on it again. But if you've left your bike in the garage for a very long time and somebody shut the door and locked it and you haven't got the key, how do you get the bike out? I don't know.
I'm lost. You know, Cherry, there's a book there. There's a book there, yeah.
I need an instruction manual.
How to unlock your bicycle by Sherry Houston.
I said to my mother years ago, well, what is it then? What is the orgasm? She went, I don't know, you'll love it when you have it, darling.
Yeah. Right, time for one final break. But when we return, we will be letting Corrie's latest lag, fizz tape, loose on our panel. We'll see you in a bit. Back soon.